lot about innovation these days. We hear about entrepreneurs who are successful and the need to capture that energy to increase the economic vitality of Albuquerque. Along with many of you in the audience today, the speakers at today's event are all working toward a stronger innovation culture because they know firsthand that this is an area we can build on in Albuquerque. The speakers, Mayor Berry, Dr. Frank from UNM, and Dr. Winograd from CNM, all have major investments in infrastructure, education, and activities. New Mexico Technology Council and their chairwoman, Lisa Atkins, have been working for many years on this same issue by providing events and support to our state's entrepreneurs and technology startups. You will also hear today about the importance of partnerships and collaboration. Any successful endeavor will draw on the strengths of many. Our speakers have reached out to each other and have worked with many of our audience members today. I believe that when we work together, we will be successful, and I know I am very happy to be part of this program, and I know that many people at PNM are very excited about this as well. Through the leadership of Pat Vincent-Colon, PNM's President, CEO, and Chairwoman of the PNM Resources Board of Directors, PNM has increasingly worked on economic development and improving the jobs outlook for people in our service territory. Pat has helped create a culture at PNM that is dedicated to helping improve the communities that we serve. Help me in welcoming my favorite CEO, Pat Vincent-Colon, to the podium.
Thank you, Danielle, and thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I'm so honored to be here and be beside Mayor Berry and Drs. Frank and Winograd. These are leaders that are taking bold action to get Albuquerque and, quite frankly, all of New Mexico back on the right economic track. Government, businesses, and individuals have been working really hard and diligently to re-energize our economy. Because of these efforts, we're starting to see signs of a rebound, and now we want to build on that effort. We've all heard the saying, necessity is the mother of invention. And so, with deep apologies to Plato and my college philosophy teachers, I would like to suggest that necessity is also the mother of innovation. Through the vision of all of you great leaders with us today, innovation is happening right here in Albuquerque with initiatives such as Innovate ABQ and the Stimulus Center. And rather than working in silos or competing for resources, these leaders here today understand the value of collaboration, and they could take individual strengths and merge them into partnerships to help create all of our common goals of creating jobs and economic success. Innovate ABQ is truly visionary, aiming to create a one-stop shop, an innovation hub where entrepreneurs, businesses, and investors can collaborate together to develop and market promising new technologies. It's great that Dr. Frank, Dr. Winograd, and Mayor Berry are able to join us here today because through their leadership, this vision is starting to happen, and soon it's going to be reality. In fact, right across from where we are is the business incubator that's developed as part of this vision. As Danielle said, at PNM, one of our core missions is supporting economic development and job growth here in New Mexico. We know that our success as a company depends on the success of every business and individual in this state. That's why we've invested in the PNM Job Growth Initiative that funds programs at West and Axion, as well as Main Street organizations throughout our service territory. And today, I'm pleased to announce that we are expanding our commitment with a $56,000 contribution to create the PNM Innovation Network in collaboration with the New Mexico Technology Council. This innovation network is going to fit very well with the great work that we're doing here today and that others are doing. The New Mexico Technology Council has done a fantastic job of developing programming in support of innovation. And our initiative will add new programs that help inspire and grow this culture of innovation that's springing up in our city. A cornerstone of this network is the PNM Innovation Speaker Series. I know I've been inspired to think bigger and bolder by listening to thought leaders both inside and outside of my disciplines. This speaker series is going to build on that idea and bringing leading entrepreneurs to inspire and motivate us even more. The speaker series is going to kick off in July and continue throughout the year. And I'm excited that we're in negotiations right now with 2 nationally recognized innovation leaders to come and speak. The program is going to be open to the public, but we're specifically going to reach out to entrepreneurs and innovators already at work here in Albuquerque's innovation ecosystem and others who we'd like to attract. At least it's not windy outside. I've had my speeches blown away before. The Innovation Network is also going to provide additional opportunities for entrepreneurs and others to collaborate within the innovation space. While it's exciting to bring in nationally known speakers, we all know that a lot of great innovation takes place here in our own backyard, and we want to take advantage of that. And finally, this new program will include funding to help support existing programs such as startup weekend activities and marketing efforts that shine a light on this wonderful, innovative culture and the innovative ideas happening here in Albuquerque. Mayor Berry is such a driving force behind efforts to make Albuquerque a center of innovation and entrepreneurship. He's a tireless supporter of the business community and is focused on helping bring high-wage jobs and a strong workforce here. And one of the great things I love about the mayor is the mayor understands business. The mayor's met a payroll before, so he understands what entrepreneurs are going through as they start up their businesses and what the challenges business people have. P&M is proud to work with the mayor and the city and our other partners here to help turn this wonderful vision into a reality. So Mayor Berry, I welcome you, and please join me in welcoming the mayor to the stage.
Pat, thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Isn't this beautiful? Rob and I are talking about this. This architecture is fantastic, and thanks for all the work, Rob, you've done to make this one of the premier places in Albuquerque. And hopefully, through the work of Bob Frank and Kathy Winograd and P&M and what the city's doing, you're going to have some really spectacular neighbors pretty soon. So we're really glad to be here today. Pat, thank you. Let me brag on P&M just for a minute. We have a lot of initiatives in my administration, whether it's Albuquerque Heading Home for the homeless, whether it's the Innovation District projects that we're working on with Bob and Kathy and others. But P&M's always there with us, and we appreciate your community partnership, your corporate stewardship, because quite frankly, these programs take resources, and when we have resources, good things happen. And so that's why today's another exciting announcement with the P&M Innovation Network. And the speakers are very important because we talk about this a lot, and I think everybody in the room at some point in your life had somebody motivate you through a speech who came in, whether it was a coach, whether it was a business leader, whether it was somebody in the faith community, whatever it happens to be. Bringing these speakers in really has a lot to do with getting people inspired. And there's a lot of great things going on right now, and a lot of the things that we're working on, I think, are only possible because we have leaders throughout our state, really, and in our community, a lot of you in the room today, who have made a decision, a very conscious decision, that it's much better to work together and to not so much worry about who gets credit for anything, but really just start lifting and start picking up a shovel and start working on these projects. And that's happening right now. And that hasn't always been the case. It's something where it just takes the right group of folks at the right time, and I think we really have that in Albuquerque right now. And I'm just very pleased to be a very, very small part of that, but I'm glad to be included in that. One of the things that we know in Albuquerque is that we have to diversify our economy. And all of this really centers around that. And today I'll be having dinner with Living Cities. And you've all probably read about the Living Cities initiative that Albuquerque was selected to join Seattle, San Antonio, New Orleans, Albuquerque, and I got one city, Gary, who am I missing? San Antonio, Seattle, San Francisco, Albuquerque, and New Orleans. And part of the reason we got selected, and Bob and I'll be meeting with them tomorrow as well, is because of initiatives like this. It's because we have folks like P&M and corporations that will step up, and university systems that will step up, and our school system that will step up and help us create an environment where Living Cities really thinks that we can make a positive population level impact. And what we're trying to do with Gary Opedal and through our EDACT funding at the city, our $5.5 million, is to join in, like we'll be joining in, I think, with $20,000 into this initiative, but to really make a difference. And we're going to do it through entrepreneurship. So as we start to diversify our economy, we know we have tremendous research that happens in Albuquerque. We've got tremendous partners like TVC and others who are out there trying to commercialize this. Bob Frank at the university is going to start, that's what this is all about with Innovate ABQ. But it's also about bringing other folks into the equation so that we can reach to our students in schools, all the way through the PhDs at the labs and at the university, to get people inspired to take that chance to actually create a company. Because at the end of the day, if you don't create any companies, you're not creating those jobs. And we see those two tied very much together. And all of this reaches around this whole envelope of economic mobility, whether you are financially stabilized today or whether you're not. If we can bring that entrepreneurial spirit to Albuquerque and really throughout New Mexico, that's what's going to drive us where we need to be in the future. It's not going to be an overnight thing, but we've got the right people doing the right thing. So congratulations to the New Mexico Tech Council as well. And we're just, once again, as a mayor, it's just always wonderful for me to get a chance to participate in some small way like we are today, but really watch other leaders in our community pull that wagon that we need to pull to get where we want to be. So with that, speaking of pulling wagons, I'll call up my good friend Bob Frank from the University of New Mexico. Bob's been a tremendous leader. He's been a great guy to work with as a mayor. He's willing to do those things to be positively disruptive that we need to have happen here, like we're trying to do with the city. And he's got a great vision for Innovate ABQ. And once again, the city's just really proud to be a small part of that. But with that, I'll bring up Bob Frank.
Well, thank you, RJ, and thank you so much for having us here today. We too are thrilled to be part of this partnership, and we want to congratulate P&M for their vision and collaboration across this relationship. The University of New Mexico believes deeply in what we can do here in Albuquerque and in the Rio Grande Valley. We believe that through the kinds of partnerships that are emerging here, New Mexico can become the seat of innovation for the entire state, that Albuquerque can become the seat of innovation for the entire state, and that we can become a beacon for the entire country to grow ideas and become a place that people move to and see where ideas start. Innovate ABQ has become a catalyst for economic development, and through what the mayor did when we put this idea on the table after we went to Gainesville in 2013, we quickly grew a little tiny visit into a site that now sits out here, and then Terry Loddick and New Mexico Educators Federal Credit Union stepped up, and the Economic Development Administration provided a grant, and our foundation provided money. And we now have an idea that's blossoming, and we've now been joined by Pat Kalan, and we now see that we can begin to grow a whole ecosystem of opportunity around innovation and entrepreneurship that will rise all the boats here to create enormous opportunities that we're thrilled to begin working on. It's all because we have shared vision in a community. And it goes back to something that RJ said when we had a conference at the university, and I think I'd only been president about 3 months, and he said that there was a changing sense here in New Mexico, and it was a recognition that no one group could do it alone, that we needed to reach across the aisles and work together. And I think with that recognition, we are all working together in ways that might have not been done previously. But we're turning to create knowledge workers at the universities across the bachelor's level, the master's level, and the doctor level to create scientists and graduates that will create opportunities here to do things we've never been able to do. And it's imperative that we create opportunities for our graduates right here in New Mexico to create jobs that we've never had here that will make our students stay here, but also bring people here. And RJ's been working to do that, and in a second, Kathy Winograd's going to come up and talk about how she's working to do it with her graduates. So it's not just graduates of UNM, but it's Kathy and I working together to create opportunities. And RJ is actually reaching out to high school graduates to create that whole long stem of opportunities that goes the entire length of opportunities from high school to community college, to bachelor's, to doctorate, all the way up the way. There's an opportunity for every type of person here in New Mexico to create innovation that serves our entire states. And now here we are with new types of innovations brought forward by P&M and an innovation network that is very thrilling. So let me bring my partner and friend, Kathy Winograd, up to talk about the Stimulus Center that she's created. I think Kathy is well known, probably better known than anyone in the room. I just want to say she's a UNM graduate, which isn't on her biography, which breaks my heart. So here's Kathy Winograd. No, I looked at it.
So I'm very sad that it's not on my biography, because it is one of my most proud things to not only be a graduate of UNM, but to be on the Alumni Association's executive committee. So please, I will make sure that gets changed. There you go. I have lots of things to say in response, but I think I'll just leave that alone at this point. So thank you for allowing me to have time at the microphone today, with the microphone. We're thrilled that P&M is adding great momentum to the innovation efforts in Albuquerque with the launch of the P&M Innovation Network. And we're also incredibly thrilled to be part of all of this very positive, exciting kinds of things that are happening. At CNM, we are really committed to creating a workforce. As many of you know, when TVI first started 50 years ago, we were education you can use. Although we do not use that any longer, we're still education you can use, and we're very proud of that. And we are kicking that off with just one more way of thinking about it with our Stimulus Center. And our Stimulus Center will be open in the fall. It will be providing accelerated education opportunities and wraparound support for aspiring entrepreneurs. We'll have accelerator, prototyping lab, boot camps, coding and cybersecurity academies. And we're very excited to be able to join in the efforts that are taking place throughout this community, especially P&M, the city, and UNM. So I'm looking forward to all of this great collaboration, because I know that it is these kinds of collaborations that's going to create opportunities for not only our citizens, but also to bring in more businesses to Albuquerque. So I thank you, and now I'd like to introduce Lisa Adkins, Chairwoman of the New Mexico Technology Council. Thank you.
Thank you. I got really lucky today with this wind, because I got to bring all of you from the courtyard into this beautiful facility that will be known as Fat Pipe ABQ, opening in June. The New Mexico Tech Council wants to thank P&M and the City of Albuquerque, the key leaders that have kicked off not just a discussion of innovation, but are taking action to make Albuquerque the hub for innovation it deserves to be. Thank you for funding this effort and for allowing the New Mexico Technology Council to be a catalyst for change. NMTC has been active building the IT and software sectors for more than 13 years. We have active peer groups for women in technology and cybersecurity, and are relaunching the CIO Net group in June. In the last 3 years, we have also started collaborating with other tech associations like NM Bio, NM Optics, the Nano Network, PACA and ATIBA, all members of the Joint Technology 8. All of us are contributing to an environment that we can really grow and bring to light the amazing technology that New Mexico has to offer. NMTC cross-promotes events with many other organizations, and we are the single best source of information for anything tech-related happening all over our state. In order to move Albuquerque to the top of those lists that we all want to be on, New Mexico Tech Council has been greatly involved in startup activities and supports Startup New Mexico, Startup Albuquerque, and Startup Weekends. The Innovation Network, powered by P&M, will help us continue our efforts. The initiative will include a social media platform to share the stories of local innovators, money to support entrepreneurial activities such as the Startup Weekend we just had this past weekend, and the P&M Speaker Series with the intent of getting some big name speakers to Albuquerque at a couple of our events in July, and hopefully again during the Albuquerque Tech Fiesta this September. It's backing and support from P&M in the city that are creating this opportunity for the tech business community to have a leading role in creating the Albuquerque that fulfills the aspirations of our best and brightest. We are seeing big players come to the downtown scene. Not only do I chair the Tech Council, but as an individual, I'm invested in our community with my work at the Bioscience Center and Fat Pipe. My whole entire board, volunteer board, we're deeply integrated with the startup community, and I want to thank Eric Renz-Whitmore for all of the work that he does to bring that to life. This summer and fall, we'll see the C&M Stimulus Center kick off. Activities will begin at Innovate ABQ and a fantastic new acceleration program from the folks behind ABQ ID, which stands for Innovation District, that will all get underway. We are thankful to be a part of this community collaboration and invite all of you to get involved. With the partnerships now forming with P&M, the City of Albuquerque, C&M, UNM, and the New Mexico Tech Council, the landscape is going to change. Opportunities will be vast, and we are all going to put Albuquerque on the map as the place for innovation. Thank you to Pat Kalan, P&M CEO, for encouraging economic development and growth of entrepreneurship. And thank you, Danielle Duran with P&M, for putting this event together. And thanks to all of you for being here today and supporting our efforts.